MSHR has been active for about 7 years, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And but we've been working together in art collectives for 10 years. For 4 years, we did a collective called Oregon Painting Society. And both Oregon Painting Society and MSHR have sort of had the principles of being totally collaborative and mixing different disciplines as much as we feel we need to for specific projects, or as much as our interests lead us to. So it often involves sculpture, installation, sound, instrument design, systems design, performance.
So this piece here has many different dimensions that are nested together. So it's a sculpture installation that can be interacted with physically, and through the headset then you access another dimension, which is virtual sculpture dimension. And there is a sonic, a cybernetic system of sound that is happening that can be manipulated through the movements of the visitor who's wearing the headset.
In a way, the piece plays on the sort of voyeuristic quality of virtual reality art projects, where only one person is in the VR, and they can't see anyone, but everyone else can see them. So we wanted to, or in our virtual reality-based work, we're sort of exploring that dynamic and turning the VR user into a performer of the composition that we have as a part of the piece. So
and maybe especially in this iteration of the piece, because the room is laid out so that there is a floor piece and a wall piece, and the person is there in that zone with the lights on them, and then there's couches set up in front so that people can sit and watch this performance unfold as the person manipulates the sound and light in the room that everybody is experiencing. Whenever you're trying to do a piece in any medium, you want to highlight all aspects of that medium and really address them. So, we've noticed that in VR, by addressing the people who aren't in the headset, that's like an extra area of the piece, because otherwise, they're going to be there waiting or whatever. So you might as well include the area outside of the headset as another aspect of the work. And also, I think it's just interesting to be able to bridge the gap between virtual and physical.
Well, and this comes from our background in just immersive installation work, which we've been doing ever since we began collaborating, which is, always a physical scenario that in our work often people interact with the physical scenario in ways that are sort of heightened or augmented from what you would normally be able to do with interactive sound and light, things like that. So virtual reality is sort of a natural next step, but instead of having that heightened interaction only happening within the experience of the VR user, we try to still have it be for everyone who's in that physical scenario as well.
The design that is on the ground and on the wall, and also in the VR space, the design is a diagram of the system. So there are
of the generative audio system.
Yeah. So there are symbols that represent the human and the speakers and the samples and the triggers, and they're arranged with lines going through them to show the connections. And so the diagram of the piece becomes the physical scenario of how the piece unfolds.
I think it was initially inspired by seeing some sort of diagrammatic flowchart graphic scores by David Tudor that he had done. Those are kind of, I guess, his version of a musical score, and his work has been really inspirational to us in a number of ways, and we felt that doing a similar thing would be useful or interesting in our practice as a way of communicating what our pieces are, which whether it's like a generative hardware installation or a software piece like this. And also it seemed like an interesting way of like lending objectivity to the aesthetics of the types of visual designs that we're making.